here. I, Alicia Altaf Sayed, takes this pleasure to invite you to this amazing session of the day. And this session is being organized by Sevankar, as you all know, for all exam going students. So, just before going ahead, I would like to let you know about Sevankar. Sevankar literally means growing the seedling of Seva in medical students. So, it's an organization made by medical students and for medical students. The nutshell motto of Sevankar is to do external and internal development of all medical students, thus creating socially responsible citizens for nation building. Since we learn by doing, so Sevankar serves as a medium of numerous opportunities for us to learn various skills and values at the same time. Without any further delay, I would like to introduce you with our today's guest speaker, Dr. Nagnath Reddyvat sir. Sir had completed his MBBS from LTMMC Science, MD Medicine from GMC Nagpur. Currently, he is an associate professor at BJGMC and Sasun Hospital, Pune. Sir has been a part of Sevankar family since 10 years now and is presently Paschim Prant Sampark Pramukh as well. Also, since Sir is also a MUHS examiner, so this session was arranged for all of us. So, I would just request you all to ask all your related queries at the end of this session. So now I would like to request Nagnath sir to please continue with the session ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. Just 8 days before or 10 days before the exam, this session is organized, and now we are at high tension to how to give the exam, what will be the question, and what is expected. So, from our side, we are there to always help you. That is the first thing I would like to clarify. Whatever the questions are asked and the questions are framed, they are in such a way that we have divided the question as a must, no, desirable to know, and it's okay if it is there, or you can answer or you don't answer. So in that way, every question paper is designed. While we design the question paper, we have to keep in the mind what is the expected from the student, how much content they should write, and then we have to allot the mark to the each section. So for medicine part of view, what we do, we have a paper 1, paper 2, and the section B and C and MCQ part is different. So we have a 45 marks, paper 1, 45 mark, paper 2. So section B, section C, section B has 2 long questions. Section C has 1 long question, another write short note in both. So in that way, there are options. We have to write the options, and accordingly, we have to select which question I will answer and all. So overall, being a teacher or we have to frame everything in such a way that you have to write a specific thing. I think there some questions came from the student. Suppose they have given us the question paper, and one question is like approach to the patient. One question is very simple, in which they say yes, this is the question and approach asked. Second is just define etiology, pathogenesis, and management. So conceptual question will be there. One question will be just like a enumeration. So we have, when we frame the question, one question will be on concept, what you have understood from that topic, and second question will be a conceptual, what you have understood and how will you apply your knowledge. So both question will be there. So whenever the enumeration question will come, it is like a just recall and remembering what you have recalled, you have to write. Conceptual question, what is the concept behind that, and you have to give the specific answer for that question. So these are main thing when you write the question paper. What are simple things? These are common points we know. When we have a bunch of paper to check, what we have to do, it should be a neat, it should be written properly. Suppose we say out of the 3 short notes, I am writing 6. So whenever you have a question paper in your hand, just go through the paper and see what I can produce on the paper very perfectly and to the point. And when whatever the questions you are in doubt, yes, I have some confusion about this question, then keep it that question thoda besides, but don't change the sections. What you have to write, keep the sequence. Whenever we have to write the question, we have to write everything. When we check, we have to write, yes, he has attempted this question out of this, which has got the best mark, and then we have to select that. So better you attempt whatever is said. Yes, attempt only 3, then whatever out of 5 you have to attempt 3. So attempt that 3 question, and that write it properly. So that is one thing. Don't break the sequence. If you put a tabulated form or table form, it will be very easy to know, yes, you understood the concept and you have make the graph, you have made the table. So make the presentation easy. In short, give the more information. So by reading 1 or 2 questions, we will understood, yes, you know the depth of subject, and accordingly we will assess your next questions and next answers. So whenever you know, I can write a long question with very specific management, treatment, whatever I have asked. So write that question first. If you think, yes, I have to write all the sections, so first, second, give the space and go to the next question. And whatever question you are in doubt, attempt that last. So whatever you can produce bestly, write it initially only, so that we can know you have answered. So that flow of checking will go in the hand. So there are always 2 examiners who will check your paper. So one, and that is unbiased. When we put the marks, that question paper will go to the different examiner. He don't know what we have written and what we have given the marks, what marks we have given. So same other teacher will check, and best of 2 mark will be given. So MHS has this provision. So out of 2, which is the best, will be your the mark. So in that way, question will be simple and right to the specific point, what is asked. So I have given 2 question paper to Devang, so he can post on the group. So I will give you the idea how it is right and we should write. So I have 2 question paper of our question set. So we will discuss that question paper question wise, what is expected, and we will go ahead. So some has asked every question whether we have to write the dose. It is depend on the question. If it is written, it is management of some disease or management of some part. So that time doses are expected. When it is just a broad vague term, then we have to concise. And in short, you have to write what is meant by that terminology. So I will request if we can share the question paper, so we can go ahead with the discussion on the base of question only.
Devang, will you please share this in?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. So now see, we have a question paper 1. Everybody is now, I think, able to see this question. So question 1 is in section B. 75-year-old bedridden patient develop acute onset chest pain and breathlessness. Discuss the differential diagnosis and management. Now this is, as I told you, it is a concept question. So bedridden patient, elderly, acute onset chest pain and breathlessness. In that way, you should know the differential and what is expected. So what can happen to the patient, whether it is a myocardial infarction, whether it is a acute pulmonary embolism, because they have mentioned the 2 things, bedridden patient. So that means probability of getting a deep venous thrombosis will be more. That has lost the thrombus in the pulmonary and patient had developed the pulmonary embolism. So what are the differential diagnoses? We cannot just write it is pulmonary embolism. We can say it may be a myocardial infarction. So what are the acute causes for the chest pain and breathlessness, that we have to enumerate as being elderly. So the specific will be a pulmonary embolism. Second, what will happen? Patient may have a chest pain, it is a myocardial infarction. Third will be acute LVF. We have to keep the differential diagnosis in the specific. What then you do the diagnosis. So in this patient, but with the bedridden background and acute onset chest pain and breathlessness, even if the differentials are these, my diagnosis is acute pulmonary embolism. And then what is the management of pulmonary embolism? management of pulmonary embolism will be in acute, in a shock or non-shock patient. In that way, we have to divide. Yes, in shock, what will we give? We have to thrombolize the patient. Here, whenever there is a long question, it's okay if you don't write or if you don't remember the right dose. You can, yes, thrombolize with the streptokinase. We can give the patient heparin. So you can mention the anticoagulation stages in that. So that is expected. What is the primary management for that patient? So every time they used to write ABC, we will maintain the airway, breathing and circulation. That is not at all expected. So your diagnosis is pulmonary embolism. So what is deficient in the patient? We have to give oxygen to the patient. In diagnosis also, in when the diagnosis is come, so our diagnosis is, yes, patient is having pulmonary embolism. So what we will give? We will evaluate the patient. So how will you evaluate the patient? We will get the patient's immediate chest pain and ECG we will do. So once you write down the in a flow, patient presented in a casualty. So what we have did the patient's ECG, chest pain, we will differentiate, yes, patient is having pulmonary embolism or patient is having some myocardial problem. Then you get the diagnosis of that disease. Yes, patient is having this disease. What? Admit the patient. Admission, oxygen saturation is low as patient is having uh, low oxygenation because of pulmonary embolism. Give the oxygen therapy to the patient. Once we start the oxygen therapy, what is next? We have to treat the cause. So thrombus is there. So we have to lyse the thrombus. So what treatment we will give for that? Yes, we will give that treatment. So how will you diagnose? One ECG is done. So ECG ke baad, what is the next investigation you will do? You will do the next investigation is on the bedside if it is available, right down 2D echo, CT pulmonary angiography. You can set the blood markers. D-dimer is raised. So in that way, you will approaching toward the diagnosis. Yes, my patient blood lab suggests it is a embolism. I did the ECG 2D echo. It is going in favor of RARB dilated. So to the point, if you write in that way, though we are okay. Yes, in 2 pages you have finished. There is no need to write 4 and 6 pages. What happens? We know too much of information, and for one question we will give dedicated time. And then we will know, yes, I have filled the written for 3 or 4 pages and I'm not getting the time for next page, next questions. Then you be in a hurry, then the things will go wrong. So whenever you have a question paper, make the habit and divide the time. During this, I will give only dedicated this much of time to this question. Once that time and this much of pages. So whenever you read the question and anything, first prepare in the mind. I will write down this heading and under that heading, I will write down the answer. Now see, the second question is define ascites, discuss approach of the patient with the ascites, discuss complications of ascites. There are 3 headings they have divided. So it is 8-mark question. So what definition of ascites? Discuss approach patient with ascites. So what will you do to the patient who comes with the ascites? So we are expecting etiology, why patient had developed ascites. So you have to write the causes of ascites. Yes, discuss the approach. So patient comes with. Once you know the causes, then you will go ahead with the investigation you will do for the ascites. So what will do for the ascites? You will do the non-invasive, invasive investigation, basic blood, CBC you will do. And when USG is done, ascites is confirmed. You did the ascitic fluid analysis, and then your diagnosis will be whether it is transudative, exudative, and then your differential come. And discuss the complications of ascites. So what are the complications of ascites? In alcoholic, what will happen? We generally look for this patient. So write down, these are the complications. Divide this question into 3 headings only. In short, you can finish the question. No need to write ascites then. So don't wonder. First read the question, what is expected, and I need to answer. So what complication, whether it is SBP, patient has a complication of ascites, patient had developed infection. Because of ascites, what will happen? So in that way, we have to write down the different things. Second is, now see, long question. See, now one have a question, how many pages are expected for LQ or SAQ? Again, I am telling you, it is not about the pages, it is about the content, what you write. Suppose it is just asked about pulmonary embolism management or our diagnosis pulmonary embolism. If you write everything, we do this, and then if EMI is there and all this, we don't require that. So whatever 4 pages also, if you write from front back, so that is sufficient for LAQ. 1 or 2 pages front back is there for the SAQ. Now third question, write short note. What is megaloblastic anemia? See, for only 3 marks, megaloblastic anemia is a long answer question in PG. In detail, we have to write. So what expected at MBBS condition? Yet megaloblastic anemia is caused because of one line. What are the causes of megaloblastic anemia? These are the causes of megaloblastic anemia. What is the clinical picture? Patient is having this clinical picture. Investigation will be done. CBC, peripheral blood smear, and mark we will see for the mean platelet, mean corpuscular volume, and PBS. What is the management? We have to give folic acid and B12 supplementation to the patient. So you can face front, back 2 pages, it is sufficient. There is no need to write too many things. Unstable angina, next question. So what is definition of unstable angina? How the patient present? What is the ECG finding? And how will you give, and what treatment you will give, and work up for the patient? That is enough. There is no need to, first you will write angina, then there are different type of angina, then what will happen? Not at all expected. It is just 3-mark question. Polymerase chain reaction, irritable bowel syndrome, transfusion reaction. So transfusion reaction, then 8 to 10 reaction they have mentioned. Just write down. What is 3-mark question? So 6 reaction you write, sufficient for, we know. And in that also you have to write which are the major transfusion reaction will happen. Next question will be the section C. Discuss differential diagnosis of hemorrhagic fever, discuss clinical manifestation and management of dengue fever. Now here, discuss differential diagnosis of hemorrhagic fever. So just write down the differential for that. And what is asked? Discuss clinical manifestation and management of dengue fever. So clinical, so hemorrhagic fever, what will happen? Patient will have, whether it is leptospira, whether it is dengue, or patient is having a tick fever, or patient is having rickettsial fever. So in that way, we have to write down the differentials, and whether main chunk of mark will be there on the clinical manifestation and management of dengue fever. So discuss clinical manifestation. Yes, what will happen? Symptomatology of dengue fever. How will you divide the dengue fever? Acute phase, febrile phase, chronic phase, recovery phase, convalescent phase, third is. So in that way, we have to divide. Yes, these are the clinical manifestation. What will happen in acute febrile phase? What will happen in the critical phase? What will happen in the recovery phase? That's what is the management. There is no specific management for the as such dengue fever. We give supplement or supportive management. What will you write? You will write, yes, patient will receive the IV fluids, paracetamol, to antipyretics. So you can write antipyretics to be given to the patient. Maintain the hydration of the patient because fever leads to dehydration. Main therapy is the hydration. As such, there is no specific management for the dengue fever. So we have to tackle with the temperature. We have to tackle with the patient's hydration status. If patient develop complications like abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, we have to add the SOS. Patient is having complication of dengue fever, so we have to give the IV fluid to the patient. In that way, we have to divide and write down the management. Discuss clinical manifestation. Then we start with it is caused by this. Then we will write about the vector and how it is goes. No need. They have asked discuss clinical manifestation. Discuss clinical manifestation of dengue fever only. Now next question. Write a short note. Gliptins. So what are the gliptins? Which category of this anti-diabetic drug? How it is given in combination with that? What are the drugs and most commonly used drug? That is sufficient. You can write the name of the drug, and they have some categorization, as we know in the pharmac also, or in this group also. Suppose one patient is having some deranged parameters like kidney function test, they have one drug has advantage over the other. So you can remember 3 or 4 drugs, and you can write these are the gliptins, these are the advantages over this drug. So in that way we have to write. Next question is post. Here doses are, if you write, that is well and good. Otherwise, if you mention these are the drug used in combination with first line therapy, second line therapy, how it is goes, how will you step up, that is sufficient. No need to write lengthy answers. Post exposure prophylaxis for rabies. In a PSM also we have learned. So we have to give 0, 3, 7, then 28 dose, how 14 and 28 dose. So post exposure prophylaxis, local care and injection throughout the local IVIG we have to give. Immunoglobulin we have to give to the patient. Management of septic shock. Here they have asked management of septic shock. So only write what is septic shock. It is due to the infection. There is. So how will you give management? Stabilize the patient. What is meant by stabilize? Admission in the ICU. How will you give the patient further treatment? Start the antibiotic and all these things. So if management is asked, don't write clinical features and how will it progress and all. No, just management of septic fever. Now clinical manifestation of hemochromatosis. Just you know the disease hemochromatosis. What will happen? 1, 2, 3 organ involved, how it is present? Bronze diabetes, cardiac cirrhosis. What will have? Liver cirrhosis, constructive pericarditis. So we have to specifically write what is answered. So it is just for 4 marks. If they have given for the 3 marks, 1 page and 1.5 page or 2 pages more than sufficient. Metabolic acidosis definition. pH kitna rahega? Causes of metabolic acidosis. How will you correct? So we'll correct with by soda water. If you remember the doses, well and good. If you not, just you will know whether you know this terminology of metabolic acidosis, what are the causes, how will you correct. That is a primary management. Second will be a clinical feature and treatment of organophosphorus poisoning. This is our main and very frequently asked question. See, out of these 6, they have clinical questions are more and very easily available. You have seen the patients. Organophosphorus is there, metabolic acidosis is there, septic shock is there, post exposure prophylaxis rabies is there. So somebody has not read about hemochromatosis, leptins. So they frame the question in such a way, common things will be there. So clinical features and treatment of organophosphorus poisoning. So clinical features and treatment of organophosphorus poisoning. What are the clinical features? So we have a mnemonic from second year also we are learning what will happen to the patient. He will have a constricted pupil, body will cold, secretions, urine, and all these things patient will have. So these are the clinical features. What is the treatment? First, remove the exposure, whatever the more exposure, so remove the cloth, whatever the patients, we have to give the gastric lavage, then start the patient on antidote treatment like the atropine. So how will you go? So atropinize the patient. If you write that word, yes, patient is atropinized, and atropinization signs are noted. Once you write down that, we know you are giving the atropine, and then we have to monitor heart rate, and accordingly we have to give the atropine. If patient is having organophosphorus, we have to say pralidoxamine, we have to start. So we can add in the investigation, we will send patient serum cholinesterase to confirm the diagnosis. So in that way, if you go ahead, it will be very simple and very easy. So whenever now you are revising, revise in this format. If this question come, I will write, these are the points. So in that way, it will be easy. We are there to help you. Okay, some questions are coming, we'll see later. Okay, so now this is paper 1. We will go ahead with the paper 2. A young female presented with early recurrent abortions, arthritis of small joints of the hand and wrist. On examination, she had a malar rash and discussed diagnosis, clinical manifestation, and management. So young female. So our first impression is, this is conceptual question. Again, see, in last also, one is numerical. Just recall and remember what is they are asked, and second will be a conceptual. So this is what connective tissue. So what connective tissue, whether it is a systemic lupus erythematosus, whether it is SLE, or how will you malar rash they have mentioned, how will you diagnose? So this is conceptual. Second is discuss classification, etiopathogenesis, seizure disorder, treatment. This is enumeration. Whatever you know, get it produced on the paper. Second, now see the right short note. Third, treatment of tubercular meningitis. So we have to write just the treatment of tubercular meningitis. There is no thing like we have to yes, what is tubercular meningitis? So just you can put out, so tubercular meningitis. If you want present yourself to be different, write down tubercular meningitis is because of, caused by this. So it will have a basal exudate. What will happen? So medical management, if tubercular meningitis is chronic, that have leads to hydrocephalus. So once you add to that, yes, there is hydrocephalus, and we have to do the efficient also. When we start the patient on medication, we have to give the in between, if your patient is in raised ICT and all these things, the role of steroid. So in that way, only in one page, if you write clearly what is the disease, how presented, and you are sufficient. There is no go for the just filling the 40 pages. And if I write the 40 pages and say one sentence twice or thrice, definitely you will not get the mark. To the point, write in the paper. Clinical manifestation of polyarthritis nodosa, clinical manifestation and treatment of primary syphilis, alcohol withdrawal, atopic dermatitis. Here, you know what are the specific and repeated questions there you have. You have a question banks. So here, dermatology come into picture. Also the psychiatry. So they have mentioned alcohol withdrawal. What is alcohol? You have seen patient in the ward. Alcohol withdrawal patient, first sign, what will happen? So in 3 marks, or what we have to write? Alcohol withdrawal, how it is presented, first symptom, second symptom, third symptom. When patient become alcohol withdrawal seizure, what first treatment you will give? Yes, I will give the patient deficiency of conditions, optineuron. If patient is irritable, we will start with the benzodiazepine, so the withdrawal will happen. So atopic dermatitis, the same. In that way, we have to write the questions specifically. This is just 3 marks. If you write 4 pages for 3 marks and content is same, there is no point. We will give the same mark only. Now again, section C, discuss etiology, clinical feature, treatment of chronic kidney disease. See, this is again a numerical question. Discuss etiology. What are the causes of chronic kidney failure? Clinical feature. What will happen? So write down the symptoms of uremia. Patient will have nausea. Patient will have a gastritis, uremic gastritis. Patient will have uremic encephalitis. So in that way, we have to stepwise, head to toe, write the symptoms of uremia. Investigation. What will you do? We will see every time they will write. In books they have mentioned, what will you do? CBC, LFT, KFT, RFT. You are not sending lab or general routine. Here question is treatment of chronic kidney disease. So how will you confirm? Yes, I will do the CBC because in chronic kidney disease, HB will be low. I will send the kidney function test. I will say the sodium, potassium, calcium, phosphorus. Then how will you go down? I will do the USG abdomen to know kidney size are small. So that is thing. So I can define, yes, this is a patient of chronic kidney disease that had leads to severe or anemia. Kidney sizes are small and this patient is chronic kidney disease. So what is the management for chronic kidney disease? If patient is in on medical management, whether he's tolerating, he's not getting complication, we will give the medical management. If not, we will go ahead with the renal replacement therapy. So we will give the dialysis. What are the type of dialysis? We will give the peritoneal dialysis, we will give the hemodialysis. What are advantage of one on other, or we will give the continued renal replacement therapy. So once you write this heading, I know you know the concept or term chronic kidney disease. So that will give a clear-cut picture, and there is no question of giving less mark and all these things. Or we can accept 1 or 2 mistake also if you have a correct concept about that disease. Now write a short note on next question, which is like a treatment of osteoporosis. This is again next psychiatric question, bulimia nervosa, metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome, definition of metabolic syndrome. What are different criteria and by different things? Indian guidelines says when it is metabolic syndrome. What is other guidelines? Very good. What is the treatment for that? What investigation you will do? You will do the clinical presentation. Patient will have a acanthosis nigricans, obesity, weight, BMI will be more. In that way you write what is the management, what complication that will have. That is the next thing. Management of bronchiectasis. What will be the management? Patient is producing cough. So what we have to give a basic supportive management to the patient, chest physiotherapy. If bronchiectasis has precipitated, we have to give the antibiotic. We have to give the basic treatment for the same. Yes, patient we have to give the bronchodilators, inhaler therapy. If it is acute, we have to give the inhalation in the ICU. If it is on chronic thing, we can give the inhaler therapy at home by the spacer and inhaler therapy. Now parenteral nutritional therapy will be the fifth thing. So what parenteral nutrition, when you will give to the patient, what are the things we can give the in parent nutrition? The proportion in the form of carbohydrate, proteins, fat, and then how will you maintain the micronutrients and macronutrients? In that way we know, yes, and in condition we will give the parenteral therapy. What can you, आपण काय देतो parenteral therapy मध्ये आणि कुठले घटक देतो? Sufficient. Etiology, clinical feature of nephrotic syndrome. So what is happened to the nephrotic syndrome? See, actually the section is totally going towards the kidney. Etiology and clinical feature of nephrotic syndrome. So what is nephrotic syndrome? When it is called nephrotic syndrome, proteinuria itna hai. What is the etiology? Clinical feature. Patient will be bloated. Patient will have a decreased urine output. What is the mechanism? Investigation. What will you do? CBC. Patient urine routine is must because we diagnose on the proteinuria. We will do the LFT. What will happen? Low protein. And then write kidney function test that may worsen. So once you know what investigation you have to write, then it will be a very easy to write the answer. So these are the just questions I have enumerated in different paper 1 and paper 2 regarding how it is expected and how to write. Now I think there are multiple questions are asked regarding. Sir, while writing management of or any disease and condition, are we expected to write a dosage of the drug? As I already told you, if it is written, the question is like treatment of osteoporosis. So treatment of osteoporosis, it is a If you know, it is okay. Must know में question नहीं है. ये question में it is not expected. But if you write a treatment of tubercular meningitis, here you have to write the doses of anti-tubercular drug. That is expected. Suppose next question is what? Treatment of primary syphilis. You have to write the basic drug and his primary dose. Sir, can we have such a discussion on different pathies? Yes, we can. Is this a paper that is going to come? Not at all. This is our question back question. Just I have given for the format purpose. Nothing like to this question will come. Sir, suppose to we don't know the exact answer to any question, and for that, if we write relative to that question, we will get the mark. Suppose we are asked about investigation of breast, and if don't know that, can we write management? If don't know that, can we write a management and get any marks? See, if you write a vague answer, you will not get the marks. It's to be the point, to the point you should write. I already told you, whatever you know, you write that question initially. If you don't know, keep that question in the last. Okay. Sir, what is the difference between approach and management of patient if asked in LAQ and SAQ? So approach and management, see, just it is a change in the terminology. So one question, discuss approach of the patient with ascites and discuss the complication. So discuss approach, as I told you. So ascites definition we have. So then what is next? What are the causes of ascites in that approach? So this patient is having ascites. So we have to enumerate. So by history, we have to ask, patient is having history of alcoholism. Patient had a history of blood transfusion. So in that way approach, we have to write. It is kind of history taking. Then you have to go ahead with the investigation, ascitic tap, liver function test, and then transudative, exudative, and then causes. In that way, we have to write. How will you know? We know that here dose is important. It is depend on question, as I already told you. Megaloblastic anemia, if question is asked, it is a 3-mark question. Here, if you write methylcobalamin, we have to give sufficient. If you write dose, it is add on to that. So you need to know in which condition you are. If treatment is asked, then you have to write the doses. If the specific management of bronchiectasis, then we have to write. Treatment of osteoporosis, you have to write. Good evening, sir. Should we be expecting question on COVID? No, it is not in your syllabus. Sir, will there be question on COVID-2? See, COVID-2, what they will ask, it is in a virus infection and all, and still it is not included as your syllabus question. Okay, do you have specific about investigation, like ये investigation में ये दिखेगा etc. Or the investigations like ये investigation में दिखेगा etc. No. See, CBC, you know, you have written CBC, that is sufficient. You know, in CKD, hemoglobin will be low. Pass the exam, we write answer from Marrow notes. And can we pass important all the question? See, again, don't be confused. Again, I am telling you, there are options given. It is 45 marks and other 15 marks will be from your MCQ. So don't, how will I get pass and all these things? Whatever you know, produce clearly and write the initially correct things. Don't write the vague thing. It will mark will go below 50%, whatever we give. So never be in a confusion. If I write short note, long note, again, I'm telling content is important, and what is asked, are you able to write correctly? If it is classification and etiopathogenesis of seizure is there is a chart. Write down that chart and write down the drug doses. It is sufficient. Treatment of status epilepticus. Here doses are important. If you write the doses of status epilepticus, you will get the well and good mark. Are there any marks for attempting question, sir? No, there is no mark for attempting question. Whatever asked, you have to, we will suppose you have answered one question and 2 questions extra. So we will calculate out of 5, you have written 3 questions. So out of 5, you have written 5. We will consider only marks of 3. We will give the mark to them, but we will count which has a more marks. Or you have written nicely. What if we attend 1 or 2 question not that nicely initially, but we write further question properly, will examiner to see it or will give us a mark based on? No. It's not, doesn't like first impression and all, but overall the depth of understanding of subject will be get understood. So whenever if you have initial question will be not properly written and next question will be written properly, you will get the mark whatever asked for that question, and you have written all these things. Suppose you have not written this question of as we discussed, patient is having SLE, you are not able to produce correctly, but second question like status, you know very correct and you recalled very nicely and you have written, you will get full mark for that. So it's nothing like that. Sir, even if we write properly, can we get full mark? What marks, maximum mark can we get? I think everything cannot be disclosed, but you will get 70 to 80% mark. And if it is very well neat, you will get not out of mark in a medical system. Maximum marks one can get for LAQ and SAQ for adequately written answer. Criteria is 50%. Do you, the question from part 1 and part 2 vice versa? See, there are systems are correlating. So you cannot say question of one system or came to the second and one. It can happen. Sir, some of the systems are included in both. I already told you. See, 1 day gap, you can write any question from day 1 and day 2. It is once you go ahead with this MBBS and post graduation, you will come to know you cannot read all the subject a day before of the exam. Is the checking going to be lenient considering the pandemic? See, don't worry about this. I think focusing on external factor, how examiner will check the question, if I write and all these things. Again, I am telling, whatever you know, write it correctly and produce it properly. And while revising, you revise in that format. So you know the question bank. So make the headings. What is the definition, clinical features, how will you treat the patient, investigation, format is same. So for that condition, what you know and produce into that question. So it is why you are thinking about how examiner will check. We are there to pass you in a theory also, in practical also. We are not there. Yes, we will see how he will get passed. We will make him less and less marks. No, MHS has a provision. They will give us an unbiased assessment. One examiner will check, paper will go to the different examiner. He will give the different mark. Both mark get entered into your system, and out of the best examiner who has given you the mark, you will get the passing result. So how to deal with odd and unexpected question? If it is odd and unexpected question, it is odd and unexpected for everybody. So while checking also, how much or how, see, we will get very different approach while we are checking. The question will be same, but putting the question and producing it is different from different student. So accordingly, they will get mark. For odd question, if odd question comes, then think it is good for you. No. If we write extra or more than asked in the question, we will get the less mark. See what happens once you write more things, na, the must thing will be get overseen. So we'll see, yes, it is written too much. So we will have to time limit also, na, we have to check. So there is no point giving the more things. So if you write concisely, it will give difference of 1 or 2 marks. Sir, what are expected to know at the baseline for practicals? I think practical ka session we will take differently. What is expected practical format considering examination of the patient? Nobody knows this, how the pandemic and all things will goes. Nobody knows about answer of postponement of exam. We are daily monitoring the cases and the different issue. So it is up to MHS. So I think we should be ready at any time. The format or maybe change. Okay, anything else? Because I think I have allotted the time. I have finished that.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the guidance, and I had a few more questions. I'm a first year passing out student, like now starting the second year. So while I was writing the university exams, there was one issue that I faced, that I used to write an answer which was according to me apt, But then when I came home and checked the answer, and I felt always something was missing from that answer. Is there some sort of a checklist that I should always have in my mind, that before writing the exam, in the exam hall, I should not miss this out for sure, and um, the consequent.
Yes. So in a medical line, we have to keep the format in our mind. Suppose any condition, there should be a definition by someone. See, whatever question or what is the problem we are facing, that problem is faced by someone else previously. So anybody can approach in that way. There are points. So this disease, a patient had a problem. We are saying patient is presented with specific thing, like any example we can take, any disease. This patient, so there is a definition for that. Then that disease must have some clinical presentation, means history wise, patient's body, or there are different signs and symptoms that we can get. Then there are investigation to confirm that, and there are management protocol as what we write. So for each question we have to make the list and headings: heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4. As I told you, the patient is having for a first year. So for first year, see, in second year you can get the different terminology. I think healing process, they will give the things like how will you healing occurs: primary healing, secondary healing. So you should know healing, how it is started, what are the cells, then what is primary intention, what is secondary intention, what are cells come, what is meant by secondary switching. So in that way, whenever you read, you make the habit and make the points on that. Whenever such a question comes, I will consider 1, 2, 3, 4 as my headings, and under that I will write. So once you know the headings, day before of exam we have to just revise the heading. You cannot read whole. ते आपल्याकडे म्हणतात आम्ही पूर्ण नाईट मारली तरी क्वेश्चन वेगळाच आला काय आला. That is no point in that. Once you know these are the headings, under that heading I have to write down the question. Then you will not miss the points. And see, some points you can miss, and it is expected also. You cannot write everything. But the way you put the things, and 1 or 2 point missing, acceptable. That will not affect much more in scoring. So don't worry about missing 1 or 2 point. But if you from right now only you will start from second year making the different headings, then you will write and you will not miss the specific, and you should not miss the important part. So we can just make the heading of that the important part of each question. See, handwriting is very important. We should not struggle to read what you have written. So it is, if that is there, then definitely it will affect. Color pens, I think it is not allowed in first year, and only H and E pencils are allowed. Underlying points will affect the mark. No, we are there to see what you have written, because too many things people will write. Diphtheria ke liye diagnosis kuch to bhi alag, and whatever they think we never read. We discuss that with teachers and our colleagues also. There are too many things. They will write funny things. This is not at all accepted. We are graduating in a medical line. This is the question. Why do some students fail if you are there to pass us? So I'm there to pass us so that you will beneficial to the society. You should know the primary or basic knowledge at the level of MBBS so that you cannot harm to the society. Simple question. A student who has asked to give the answer for CSF examination, and the most important thing is we should do the fundus examination and check the signs for raised ICT. If that student is not aware of that, what is the role of fundus examination, and he does, and when he become a resident and he do the CSF examination or lumbar puncture, patient will die of coning. So if the basic minimum knowledge, if that student is not producing in the paper or in the practical, we are not there. Why we should be there? Because we will then at fault, because we are producing the doctor who are risky to the society. So it is doesn't like that. We are there to pass, but with the basic minimum knowledge which is required a medical or MBBS student must know. So that is the answer for your question. No. Highlighter and all these things in exam, it is not allowed. Only blue pen. It is a front page only instruction they have given. Question paper and questions we don't know. You can just circulate the all question paper of prelim exam from your all college. There is a random database at MUHS. They will do the permutation combination and question paper will get set. So it doesn't like last year, previous year or anything. No. That question is different. Huh? Sir, if the question is for CSA finding, that just I have given the example. See, what will happen for the exam? Again, I am telling you, we cannot rely on other sources. At present, our job is we should know what is expected to know from our syllabus. How the exam will happen, it is online, offline, with the patient, without patient, nobody knows. Okay. Not a single person will set the paper. It is from years together, different examiner will set the question paper and that will go to the database of the MUHS computer, and that from that they will generate the paper. Not a single person will generate the question paper. Skipping of chapter is not at all. It is at your risk. For second year, it is expected you should know the sign, symptom, history taking and general exam. From all clinical posting, you can finish that. So you have to just know the symptoms, signs and clinical examination, and history taking is the must from second first. If you miss that, that lacuna will be with you in third minor and major. So in second year, finish your all history taking part and general examination, pallor, icterus, cyanosis, clubbing, lymphadenopathy. See, non-serial wise writing the question. See, we cannot that. See, if I give you trouble, will you be happy? No. So everything will be smooth. If I write 2, 3, 2, 4, so my energy of seeing your content, it will be get wasted on searching what question you have attempted and what you question you have not attempted. So that may affect the things. When there are time constraint, it should not happen. Why there should be a time constraint? You have a prelim exam, your term exam, you should keep a watch in front of you and say to specifically to you, I will finish this question on this stipulated period of time. Once you know that, you will finish it in the right time, and you should know what has to be written. You know in detail one question, another question you don't know, you will get the mark 8 out of 6 for that, and for other question from 8 you will get 3 if you don't write. Okay, it is second year question. In the microbiology, they repeat every 4 years. Is there any pattern about how to? No, nothing like that. Huh? Repeating the question every 4 years. Again, I am telling it is database. Anything else? Don't worry about exam. Whatever expected from you, must know thing, you have to write down. See, if you write, we have to enter the mark on the front sheet. You have seen the answer sheet. LAQ, SAQ in different pattern we have to write. So we cannot write, we have to go back again, see, go back. Better way to follow the sections. Don't go with the short note together, long answer together. See, in a COVID syllabus, is the COVID surely not a part of syllabus for final year student? Again, I am telling you, in a post graduation also they have not asked for the COVID, even if they worked in that. Even in infectious disease, short note may be come, but that will not be a compulsory. Yes, I think in BJMC there are positive student came and they are asking for the law. Yes. Yeah, that can become acute viral infection or pneumonia. See, I'm telling you, this is our prediction. Again, I'm telling you, your exam is expected to be there long before. So I don't know whether how they are setting and all. Better way you revise what, as I told you, in this question, if any disease, take the disease, understood the etiopathogenesis, clinical picture, management, investigation and management. In that way you write, you will get the mark. Nothing like if you write all answers like short questions and long question together, you will get good mark for both. In a short time you want to revise, just remind, see everybody, everything will be in your mind. So what you have to do, just keep on revising the heading, what you have to write in exam, then things will come up. No, I'm not saying. In a sequence, if in a section B, you have to write option of long question 1 and 2, you can change that sequence. I'm not asking whole sequence. Section is compulsory. In the section, you have to write whatever you know the best. You cannot say both question I don't know the best. You have to at least one question, whatever you know the best, you have to write. See, there will be the provision and student friendly decision will be taken. What will happen to the COVID? These are all administrative problem and nobody has. See, again, I'm telling, unless you get the official notification on website, don't rely on any rumor. Revision is most important and there is no need to afraid. Whatever you read, you will produce it at right time. Just make the revision and habit of it. Again, for administrative question, I have no answer. Okay, I think I have covered the whatever allotted to me.
Thank you so much, sir, for guiding us through the exam pressure and everything. I'm sure everyone's pressure from their shoulders have been lifted off a little bit, and they can write their answers more precisely and revising only what is needed in the answer and not just revising everything at the same time.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, yes.
is there any important question that anyone would like before the session ends? If anyone wants to. Okay, so I think no one is. Anyone
Okay, best of luck. Don't think
is,
the things which are not in your hand, things in your hand is you are getting time. So go thoroughly with the subject and with the chintan म्हणतात मराठी मध्ये. Whatever you read na, if this come, how will you produce it best way? Think in that way. We are there to help you. Okay, so be relaxed and best of luck.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. So we'll end the session.
So there is a one question that has been asked that are there any important topics that medicine and surgery has to be revised?
The major system that we have like kidney, liver, kidney, heart, and lung is not that much asked in our point. Connective tissue in paper second, we have to think of that. So major system what we have, like abdomen, then kidney, then liver, and the heart. That is very important. In CNS, they may ask for the seizures. As such, stroke and all management and complication of myocardial infarction, arrhythmias, they will ask more precisely. And other system, you will get the short note, mainly from abdomen and all. Like what is difference between ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, and all this. For surgery, the major thing, I think they will go for the thyroid, breast, CA breast, and MMR. Routinely they do, and also the oral malignancy, not that much they ask. So mainly that things, and rarely I think they go ahead with the RCC renal resection things. That is possible. That means the treatment which you can give for the by the right time resection. Like in surgery, OBGY, you will get the all hysterectomies. So different time fibroid ka hai, to kaun sa karenge. In that way they will ask. Emergency obstetric hysterectomy and gynecologic hysterectomy.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, for PSM, PSM is very scoring subject. So see, the national program we won't able to, they are not going to change. Whatever the committees has gone, that they are not going to change. So we will get the perfect mark. Just we need to do the revision, recall, and reproduce. So no issue. I think it is not done, and there is no need of recording. I am there. Any question or any query, we will coordinate on our Sevankul platform. But I think it should not be uploaded. We will see the pros and cons of such a session. RNTCP, we will follow RNTCP. Seizure disorder is important from CNS and meningitis. Okay. Any query and all? Alisha and Devang, you can share my number.
Okay, sir.
Those who want, they can text me. So as per availability of time, we can discuss. So I think in chat I can put my own number also. Okay, to everyone I have to do. Yes, HIV, tuberculosis, you must know, because these are very common and our main disease. So you should know about all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you everyone for joining in this session today. I hope you found it very useful, and all the best to everyone from entire Sevankul family. You may leave now. You may you can discuss your queries with He'll reply you for his duty of time. Thank you.